FNAF Secret of the Mimic just got a little teaser inside of the new update of Help Wanted 2. And although I was originally going to theorize over all the cool little details that we got over Secret of the Mimic, we will have to save that for another time. Instead, I want to talk about the continuity of Tales from the Pizzaplex, because a lot of people seem to be getting the wrong idea. Plus, there is a detail from the original Edwin story that I feel like a lot of people have been ignoring that is actually really important for this debate. But before we go there, let's back up for a second. As we all know, ever since we've seen the Tiger Rock plushie in Help Wanted 2, a lot of people have been immediately saying that the Tales from the Pizzaplex books are canon. And although I have already expressed my thoughts on the matter, I feel like I need to go more in depth. Essentially, here's how I see it. William Afton was a name first revealed in the Silver Eyes. Whenever it was revealed again in Sister Location, we didn't automatically assume that Silver Eyes is canon to the games. Whenever the Mimic was revealed to be the antagonist of Ruin, we didn't automatically assume that Tales from the Pizzaplex is canon to the games then. The only real connection to Tales from the Pizzaplex that we got in this update is this one tiger plush that appears with zero context. All of the different FNAF mediums have always done that, no matter whether they're canon or not. They've always utilized the same characters and utilized at least almost paralleling storylines. So does this mean that Edwin is canon to the FNAF games lore? No. Does that mean that he's not canon? No. Either way, really, at this point, it's kind of too early to say. That's sort of the point that I'm trying to make here. Just don't jump to conclusions just yet. Just like how in the FNAF movie, William Afton is not Mike Schmidt's father. They're the same character still from the games, but they just play different roles in this different story. In the Silver Eyes, Charlie is a robot adult version of this dead kid. And last we know of, there is no alive, walking, talking robot version of Charlie Emily in the games lore. The point I'm trying to get across is the same character are used throughout all of the different FNAF medias. And just because we see the same character or animatronic in one book to the next game, that doesn't necessarily make the two automatically connected. Especially in this case, considering we have absolutely no other context behind why this tiger plushie is here in the game. We literally typed in a code and then boom, it appeared. Nothing more, nothing less. No actual mention of Edwin and no actual mention of Edwin's son. And I know that right now a lot of y'all are thinking, Neo, just accept the fact. You're hesitating too much. But the reason I'm not fully on board yet is because of this specific detail in the books. If you've read Edwin's actual story in the FNAF books, then you'd know that he has a son named David. The exact name that we have given to the crying child as of recent. Technically, the logbook did say Dave, not David, but Dave is really just a shorter way of pronouncing David. Now, I know there's been other cases in the lore where a name is repeated multiple times, but it's so odd for both of these very high-tech engineer people to have sons that both die horrifically, which really negatively affect them, both of which holding a plushie and both of which being named some form of David. It's almost like these two shitty father figure brilliant engineer people are the same. If both of those stories are canon to the FNAF lore, that is just straight up lazy storytelling, or copying the same plot points over again. Which in all honesty can be a cool way in storytelling to utilize your characters, but only if you're trying to utilize that parallelism in order to fully develop your theme. Not if your goal is to just shoehammer in an origin story for your brand new big bad to keep your franchise alive. An example of a good parallel that exists in a single continuity is between Gregory and the crying child. Obviously, Gregory and the crying child share very similar character designs, and we see Gregory destroying the animatronics in Security Breach as a contrast to the crying child's fearful and scared nature of them during FNAF 4. It's almost like spiritual payback in a sort of way. The Gregory is there to finish what the crying child couldn't, therefore bringing that story full circle and completing that little character arc. That's how you make a story parallel that would be helpful to the plot and continue to move the story forward. But if we were to hypothetically say that the Edwin story and William Afton story both existed in the same continuity, with how much similarities are there for what is practically no reason whatsoever, that's not a good story parallel. That's just straight up copying your past work. Unless, of course, they're meant to not be the same continuity after all, and instead Edwin's just a parallel towards William Afton. There are just so many story beats there that just fit way better as metaphors or parallels towards William Afton or Henry's characters, and not his own separate character in this one continuity. And going going out of your way to say one single Easter egg outright confirms everything. That's it. Edwin's for sure canon no matter what. Not only is that just completely ignoring the facts at hand, but it's also going against how we handled these kinds of situations all the time in the past. Now, is this me just sitting on a throne of hate going, meh meh meh, Edwin's not canon, meh 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 meh, I hate Edwin? No, this is by no means me saying that Edwin is or isn't canon. I'm just saying nothing is confirmed, so let's not treat it as if anything's confirmed. The proof is questionable at best, considering how vague and little it is. Let's just all wait till Secret of the Mimic releases before we develop a full consensus. But until then, I'm Neo Nobody, and this has been my TED Talk. Remember to not be a pussy in the comments. These are all just theories, nothing more, nothing less, and I will see you all in the next time. What the fuck did I just say? I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.